Thank you so much, Manuel, and to everyone who has taken the time to attend this session. I'm looking forward to a very interactive session. Please let me know if you have any questions along the way. Do type on the chat. I'm sure Manuel will be picking up the questions and he will be compiling them on my behalf as I'm also presenting. So just to get straight into it, like Manuel said, my name is Wanjera Karaoke. I am a relationship manager for Turn Left Media in East Africa. And today we're going to talk everything LinkedIn, the importance of having a good profile, and how to go about positioning yourself on LinkedIn to be a thought leader and to also position yourself for more opportunities, whether it is networking, whether it is getting noticed for a job opportunity, and so on and so forth. So as we're about to begin, I know we have Uganda in the house, we have Kenya in the house, Nairobi. So please let me know where you're tuning in from. And also please let me know if you have a LinkedIn page as we go on with the session. Now, like I mentioned, Turn Left Media are the exclusive sales partners for Sub-Saharan Africa. What this means is we support brands and corporates that are looking to advertise on LinkedIn. So we support them with their strategy and their paid media and their media buying strategies as well. And basically that is because LinkedIn has put us on ground to do the education, to educate people more about the value of LinkedIn and how best they can take advantage of the platform, both professionally, from a personal point and from a corporate point, whether it's for your business or for the company that you work for. Now, it's very important to note that LinkedIn's vision is to create economic opportunity for every member of the African workforce. Now, what does this mean for you as a professional, as a young professional, as a business owner? When you get on the platform, you're probably looking to either network, you're probably looking to look for more opportunities in terms of people buying your services or buying your goods. You're looking for recruiters to notice you, and you're also closely watching some of the companies that maybe you would like to work for. So those are some of the many opportunities that LinkedIn holds for all the members. And this ties back to the mission, which is to connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. Now, I want you to take a moment and just think about, your LinkedIn profile. Have you created one? And if you have created one, how often are you using your profile to your advantage? Yeah, so I would like for you to think about those questions that I'm asking as we go on with the presentation, because as we move on, you'll get to also, I'd like you to also just evaluate how you're faring on with your LinkedIn profile. And if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, this is definitely a great opportunity for you to create one and get connecting. Now, how does LinkedIn drive economic opportunity? Like I mentioned, there is lots of opportunities for individuals, yeah? If you're looking to connect with recruiters, if you're looking to connect with your industry peers, if you're looking to connect with your mentors, yeah? So there's definitely lots of opportunity. And, just to give you an overview, for example, like in Kenya, the numbers have really, really been growing. As at last year in March, we were at 2.3 million professionals on the platform. As at today, we are at 2.8 million professionals. So you can see within that span between last year March and right now, we have grown from 2.3 to 2.8 million professionals in Kenya only. Now, globally, we have over 740 million plus LinkedIn members. Now, from a personal perspective, you can definitely see that, you actually have the opportunity to connect with people who you relate to, and, with people who you would like to connect to, who probably connect with your interests, yeah? As a business owner, you can see that there is a lot of opportunity to leverage on when you are marketing to your different target audiences. And today I will not talk so much about business owners. I will mostly talk about, you know, evaluating and creating value for yourself as a professional on LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn has four main verticals. We have the LinkedIn Talent Solutions, which is what recruiters, if you can see my mouse, that is where my cursor, that is where the recruiters, that is a platform that recruiters use to connect to job applicants. And it is also the tool that companies use to advertise their opportunities that they may have, and so on and so forth. And then we have the LinkedIn Marketing Solutions, which is what brands and corporates use to connect to their desired target audiences when they are marketing their products. And then we also have the third vertical for selling, which is the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. The LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a tool that is used mostly by people who are in business development, and they would like to create, for example, like lead funnels, or, you know, they would like to generate more leads via the platform. And then we have the last vertical, which is LinkedIn Learning, and it was formerly lynda.com. And this is the vertical that professionals use to upskill themselves. This is what you mainly see when you subscribe on Premium. You're able to access LinkedIn Learning. You're able to access thousands of courses to continue growing yourself professionally and to continue equipping yourself. Now, with these four verticals in mind, I hope you're getting an idea of pretty much what opportunity awaits you on the platform. Now, as Stan Left Media, sorry.
Just a minute, Wanjira, thank you so much. I'll just request the rest of the guys who have joined, please mute your mics, because as you're speaking, we're getting feedback. I don't know who hasn't muted their mics, because Wanjira was taking us through and someone feedback mic though. Yeah, but I think it's okay now. Wanjira, please carry on. And I've also made you that ability for you to share the screen. I hope everybody can see.
Yes. Can everyone see my screen? First of all, maybe you should confirm that before I proceed.
Yep, because all right, great. I think everyone can see, because I've made you actually post here.
Okay, great. Now, like I was saying, those are the four main verticals of LinkedIn. And as Stan Left Media, we mostly support with the LinkedIn Talent Solutions and the LinkedIn Marketing Solutions. So if you're a business owner who's here and you're wondering, how do I go about advertising my business on LinkedIn? You can reach out to me thereafter.
I'm waiting for me.
Sorry. Now, one of the main things to note when you come on LinkedIn, people, professionals engage with a very different mindset as compared to other social media platforms. When you're on LinkedIn, you're coming more with an investment mindset. You want to enrich your professional life. You want to invest in yourself. Other than the other personal networks whereby you're going to spend your time to connect with your friends, you know, to share information and to also connect with some of your personal interests and to get entertainment updates. On LinkedIn, it's a bit different. It's a platform where people are coming to grow their personal brand. People are coming to connect and engage with their industry peers. They're coming to get updates, industry news updates. And so you can see that people are investing their time. So people continually want to get updated with current affairs. And this therefore shows you that people are after very highly valuable content on LinkedIn. So you want to make sure even the content that you're sharing, whatever that you're sharing, is something that is of value to you and to also your audience. Now, with regards to what we have spoken about so far, the journey all starts with a great profile. Now, you cannot be able to really fully engage properly if you don't have a great profile. Now, a great profile does not mean you have to have done some huge things or, you know, you have to have done something extraordinary. No. A great profile is a profile which, if I glance at your profile within 3 to 5 seconds, I am able to know what your passion points are, what you do, and what you're interested in professionally. Yeah, it could be professionally, and you find that mostly people also have lots of side hustles. Don't be afraid to also put that out on your profile. So you could be a lawyer, but on the side you also do some consultancy. Please make sure you add some of those facets on your profile, because that is what will keep people coming back to you and connecting back to you to ask for your services. Now, a great profile starts with your photo. It's very important when you're setting up your LinkedIn profile to add an image. Now, the importance of this is there's some level of credibility that comes with you adding your photo, and credibility leads to trust, and therefore thereafter influence. So people are able to add that human element to your profile and to kind of relate with you. So it's very important to choose your a great photo. Could be professionally taken, or you could also use your phone, but have a good background, be well put together, look appealing, because first impressions, we know that first impressions are key. If a recruiter chooses to look at your profile today, will they be inspired to reach out further to you? So those are some of the things that you should be looking at. That is if you're looking for new job opportunities. If you're looking to connect with industry peers, do you have the kind of profile that when you click on that connect button, that follow button, people will actually be comfortable connecting with you, because they can see that, okay, I can see the photo, I know the name, I see where this person works. So it's very important to always remember to be authentic on the platform. One of the most important things on LinkedIn, and one of the most important values, is authenticity. Authenticity, is key for us when you're on the platform. Thereafter, you want to choose a good background image. It could be something that relates to your interests, or something that connects to your passion point. And these days we have very great apps that you can use to create your own background images. We have Canva, where you can go and just create a good banner free of charge, and you're able to upload it. Thereafter, you want to create you want to have a good tagline and description. And this tagline and description should really encompass what your passion points are, what you're doing right now, and if you're looking to transition in whatever at whatever stage you are of transitioning, you could also add what you're transitioning to. For example, you could be an accountant, but you're looking to transition to probably maybe marketing or sales. So your tagline could connect something to the sales element, because when recruiters are searching, those are some of the keywords that help them get to your profile. So it's also very important, even as you're crafting your tagline and as you're crafting your summary, please ensure to note that you can add some of the keywords that are popularly used within your industry. If you're looking to position yourself as a thought leader, as an expert in the legal field, what are some of the keywords that are mostly used in your particular field? You want to also use those kind of words, so that if anyone, whether it's an investor, whether it's a recruiter, whether it's a mentor who's looking to connect with you, when they search that, they're able to come across your profile, or your profile shows up. Next thing is, you can create a vanity URL. This is the URL that can actually have your name, or whatever name that you prefer to go by. And then thereafter, you continue to share the video and content assets, and then you can get recommended and write posts and articles. Now, I know I have just quickly run the steps, or rather what encompasses a great profile, but now we will actually go step by step. And this is the point where I want, if you do not have a LinkedIn profile, this would be the perfect stage for you to actually go online, search for LinkedIn, and then create a profile so that as I'm telling you, as I'm explaining the steps, you also pick up what is important for you and what you feel is of value to you. Like I mentioned, adding a photo is very key. Now, members with photos get up to 9 times more connection requests, 21 more times more profile views, and more engagement. And this is because there's a human element to your profile. And so it doesn't feel like it's a robot or a bot. You know, it actually feels like this is someone I'm speaking to, and people can actually add, people can put a face to the profile. So it's very important to add a great, not just any photo. You know, you also have to be keen. Like we mentioned, first impressions are very key. You want, when someone looks at your photo, you know, they get a first impression of who you are and what you are about. Now, the next step is to draft a compelling summary. Like I mentioned, at this point where you're writing your summary, it's very important to use keywords. You know, use, if you're in the sales field, if you're in the legal field, if you're in the banking field, maybe you're in the project management field, make sure you're using keywords that are regularly used, even like in job descriptions that are put out by companies. And this is because if, for example, if a recruiter is meant to reach out to you because they use some of those keywords to search, your profile will be able to come up. And then also, the keywords will also come in line with the algorithm to also show you and connect you to people who have similar interests. So always remember that this summary is also your elevator pitch. It's what I will look at, and within the first like 3 to 5 seconds of me looking at it, I'm able to also know what you're about, what your passion points are, what your strengths are, and what your interests are within the corporate space. And not only in the corporate space, this is also the point where you can also add that, you know, you're also an entrepreneur, you're a consultant on the side. Please remember, this is your digital portfolio, and you are pretty much, everyone who comes across your profile, you're pitching yourself to them, and not necessarily pitching for a job. You're also pitching to network, yeah, because at the end of the day, you want to curate a timeline and a feed of information that is of importance and relevance to you. Now, after creating the compelling summary, next, you want to detail your work experience. This is where you now list all your previous work experience and also your current work experience. And this is just to also give people an overview of what you've done. Now, under this, it's very important when you're listing your workplaces or your previous work experiences, it's highly recommended that, you know, you list what you are doing and also list your achievements. We both know, rather, when recruiters are looking at your profile, or when a recruiter is looking at reaching out, to make their work easier and to pitch yourself to them, you know, you want to pitch yourself based on what you have done previously or what you're doing currently and what achievements you have so far. So always remember that even in your various assignments at the workplace, always remember to document your accomplishments, because this will come very key when they will come in very handy when you're now detailing your work experience, you know, when you're looking to switch careers, when you're looking to maybe network with other industry peers. You know, you want to discuss various roles and responsibilities and achievements that you've also accomplished. Yeah. The next step is, you know, keep adding examples of your work. You may have been featured on a blog or on a newspaper article. Maybe you may have been featured on a TV interview, sharing your point of view. You may have been featured in different, you know, different forms of media. And this is the point where you also add to this, just to put on that stamp of credibility and to showcase also. So sometimes you find for individuals in the creative industry, you know, maybe you may have a website whereby you have your whole portfolio, and you know, you want to showcase to potential clients what work you have done. If you're a lawyer, you know, you may want to maybe have a portfolio site whereby you indicate what your services are, which clients you've worked with, because this just helps to build on your portfolio. So remember, like we said, this is like your digital portfolio. It's the first point of contact that people meet when they search for you online. And we know right now with the digital craze, anytime you meet someone, the next thing they do is they go and search for you online. They'll go and look you up on the different social media platforms. So this is why, it's very important to keep your profile updated. The next thing you want to do is you want to add your skills and also to get endorsed. So getting endorsements could be from your peers at the workplace. It could be from your friends whom you've worked on different projects on. And what this does is, members who add 5 or more skills receive up to 17 times more profile views. So adding this information is just building your profile up for more visibility. And so it's very important for that. In the case where you want to request for recommendations, it's always advisable to request for recommendations anytime you work on a project with either like your supervisor or your senior executives, or even with your peers or industry friends. It's always great to always ask for a recommendation, because like I mentioned, this helps to continually build trust. And what a high level of trust on the platform results to a high level of influence. And we know that is how thought leadership comes about. Trust is very important when it comes to thought leadership on LinkedIn. Now, once that is done, do not forget to update your location, because LinkedIn serves you information and gives you suggestions based on your location. So if you say you're in the United States, or if you say you're in another country where you're not, you'll often find that you're being served information based on that area. So you want to also curate, like I said, curate your profile and your feed so that you get relevant content and relevant information. However, if you're looking to look for opportunities outside your location, you can always set up searches. We have advanced searches on the platform whereby you can set up your location, or you can set up the different locations. So if you're looking to get more information about like maybe jobs in Dubai or jobs in other countries, you can be able to set up advanced searches. The next thing is, don't forget to update your education. There are some recruiters and employers who are very keen on knowing where you studied, or or rather just knowing your education background. And also this helps when you input your education. LinkedIn also suggests maybe people you may have gone to school with, not necessarily within the same year, but like we said, the mission is to connect the world, the professionals globally. So they will continually show you suggestions of people you may have gone to school with, and you're able to kind of also see what they're up to, just with a motive of connecting you, just in case maybe you had lost touch, and so on and so forth. Lastly, do not forget to add your publications and accomplishments. Like we said, if you've been featured on a newspaper, if you've been featured on a white paper, on a blog, on an article, please do not shy away from adding some of these things to your profile. This is your digital, look at it like a digital profile. I'll give you a short story. I remember a couple of weeks ago, a recruiter, a friend reached out. Their company was looking to hire a certain position, and they were not asking for CVs. They were asking for LinkedIn profiles. So even when they were reaching out to help people, to help them get the right fit, or potential candidates, they were not asking for their CVs, they were asking for their LinkedIn profile. This shows you how the world has really evolved, how the HR and even the talent team has really evolved. Today, I'm sure, if not most of you, some of you have received inboxes from recruiters who have found you via the LinkedIn page based on the information that you have put out there. Yeah, and they have found you because maybe they're recruiting for certain positions and they've been able to, based on your keywords and what you had input, they come across your profile, and based on the information that you put on your profile, they reach out to you because they think you are a good fit. So, and especially even when, I'll circle back to like when COVID struck, we had a lot of people turning to LinkedIn, to try and identify more opportunities, people building on their profiles every other day so that they can, to connect them to more opportunities. So we can see that opportunity is the keyword here, and there is a lot of ways to go about it. Now that you have created your LinkedIn profile, are there any questions, Manuel, so far?
Thank you so much. Thank you, Wanjira. I believe most of us are really taking in this. I don't know, I haven't seen any questions so far. I don't know if anybody here has any question, or I could ask one or two as people are trained, because I believe some are trained to, consume this and understand it very well. And I don't know, in terms of, profile, creating your profile. I don't know, anybody with a question, you can always share it in the chats, as I've been saying, so that we address it. But as they're preparing maybe questions, I'll just want to ask one question. Wanjira, in terms of the profile, because you've really taken us through, I was just trying to understand in terms of like, going through this profile, what is that tactic you would give me for me to have a proper bio? Because you highlighted about the bio. What's that tactic you think I should include in that bio? Then secondly, I also want to know in terms of how many connections do I really maybe should look up to or target in terms of growth for me to have that visibility, because I believe this platform also has that algorithms, and I believe for you to have that great visibility, it might also go down to also your following. So I don't know, how many connections would you think I should target to really be connected to for me to have that visibility? Those two questions, as maybe the rest asked, and maybe sharing the questions as well.
Okay, thank you, Manuel. So I will start with the tactic for the bio. One of the key things is to know how to craft, or rather to craft your words well. I'll give you an example. If, for example, you're in admin, yeah, you want to bring out your strengths. You don't just say that, oh, you've been an admin for this couple of years, and just leave it at that. No, you want to show your strength in organization, in time management, in why should I believe in you? If I'm a recruiter, why should I believe in you just from looking at your summary? And why should I believe in you and give you an opportunity? Yeah. If you are a lawyer, what are your strengths? What should set you apart from the other lawyers when I'm looking at your profile? Always highlight your key strengths, your key abilities, because in just a span of like the 5 to 10 seconds, I should be able to be convinced, because remember that summary is your elevator pitch to anyone you're looking to connect with, to an investor maybe who's looking at your profile, to a potential employer. That is your elevator pitch. So you have to learn how to craft your words in a really interesting way to bring out your strengths, within the given area that is your area of interest, whether it's sales, whether it's marketing, whether it's finance, whether it's accounting. What should make someone, if maybe you may not even have a consultancy side hustle, but I could connect with you just purely because of how your summary brought out your strengths and with regards to accounting, and it made me buy into your passion. So with regards to the summary, always remember to highlight your key strengths, and don't shy away from doing it. I always say it's you who's done it, so do not shy away from doing it and feel like, oh, maybe I might be overselling myself. But also do not lie. Do not lie. So highlighting your key strengths is not lying. So make sure that whatever you're saying, you can live up to it. Yeah. So pretty much that is one of the key things to look out for in the summary. Now, with regards to connections, the key to great connections is you always have to remember it is quality over quantity. You could have 10 great connections who engage with you on a daily basis, and you could have 500 connections who are not even, maybe they don't even post content that is related to you or of interest to you. They don't engage with your content. And as we go by, I will show you how one of the ways to measure and optimize with your audience, because you need to really, really curate your feed. Initially, when people created their LinkedIn profiles, you just get your LinkedIn profile, update what you need to update. Once you get a job, you log out and you'll probably log back in again. That has changed a lot. You know, like I said, people are after industry news, they're after highly valuable content. So if you're a lawyer and your feed is maybe probably people in entertainment or fields that are not particularly of your interest, you may end up not having a very good experience. So it's very important to curate your feed. Really pay attention to the people that you follow, pay attention to the companies that you follow. Like I said, it is quality over quantity. It's not about how many connections you need to have. It's about what is the quality of your connections. Are these people who are adding value to you, and are you also adding value to them? Yeah. Okay. I hope I have answered that question, Manuel.
Yeah, thank you so much. You've perfectly answered them. And I think one of the key takeaways I got in terms of the buyer is it's about creating that, you know, showing that you solve a problem, because you really said highlighting your strength, what you can do. So I think that was very, very, very key. I like that you highlighted that. So, and then also when you talked about the connections part, it's about that quality. It's not about the numbers. And I think so many times as we start off in this, you know, thing of, you know, trying to build our profiles, we really look at, you know, because I've read somewhere and they're saying if you have like around 500 connections, you have more visibility. But I think it's not about having the 500 which are not really that valuable to you. It's about really getting that quality. So it's really, really key. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think we can proceed. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
But if you have any question for the rest of the guys, you can always share in the chat. We'll address to that. Please carry on.
Thank you. So now that you have created your profile, you want to now proceed to engage, because remember, there's a whole ecosystem. You have to first create a profile, then now engage with your audience. Yeah. So you start by following companies that are of your interest, company pages. So if you have an interest in fintech, if you have an interest in the different industries, you know, you look out for companies that have post their content regularly, because this is how you get some of the industry news. Yeah. And then the next thing is you want to connect with some of the influencers. Now, influencers on LinkedIn work differently. And how to know if someone is an influencer on LinkedIn, if you can see my cursor, they will always have this blue LinkedIn logo on their profile. So we have the likes of Bill Gates, we have Oprah, we have a lady called Sarah Blakely. The late Bob Collymore was also one of the LinkedIn influencers. And LinkedIn vets selects their influencers very differently. No one knows what the process is behind it. It's a very internal and executive process. So you find that even if, say, for example, you may know a couple of people who probably share very thoughtful content or very valuable content, but are still not influencers. That's because LinkedIn has a very different process of doing this. So, you know, also take the chance to follow influencers who resonate with you, who post relevant and valuable content that, you know, is of interest to you. Now, the next thing is you also want to set your advanced search. Remember, I mentioned that you also have the ability on your profile to carry out advanced search filters. So say, for example, you have an interest in industry news in a particular country other than Kenya or Uganda. You know, you want to know what's going on maybe in Dublin, in Netherlands, in the UK. You can actually set that, and you will now increasingly share, because the algorithm will have picked up that advanced search you will get served with content and information for that particular area. So these advanced filters just help you when you want to refine your feed more. When you want news for a particular industry, if maybe you're only interested in industry news for like the information technology industry or the financial services industry, this is the element and this is the stage at which you curate that data. Now, the next thing is once you've set up your profile, once you've followed the influencers, the company pages, you will now start receiving, or you will get served with content, yeah? And also once you connect with your industry peers. Now, remember I said, curating your LinkedIn profile is a continual process. Sometimes you may get served with information that is not necessarily relevant to you and you feel that you don't want to see such information. You can actually, on the top right corner of the post, there are usually 3 dots where you can click and you can actually select whether you want to hide the post, whether you want to save the post, and whether you want to improve your feed. So you're able to customize your feed just to suit your different interests. Lastly, we now come to the next step of you have curated your feed and you now want to also start engaging and creating content. Now, this is where the thought leadership now comes in. This is now your chance to position yourself as an industry expert, as a professional, and to also share your point of view. Remember, this is not always only about showing your achievements or talking about or looking for jobs and so on and so forth. This is also an opportunity for you to share your point of view on your key interests or on topics that you relate well with. So this next level is whereby I'm going to take you through the next steps for LinkedIn thought leadership. Now, the first thing is you need to create a compelling thought leadership plan, which I will quickly show you in the next slide. While you're doing this, you need to define your approach. What do you stand for? What do you want to be known for when you're posting on LinkedIn? If you're a program manager, if you're an operations manager maybe in a finance company, in a tech company, what do you really want when people see or when people hear your name? What do you really want them to think about you? I'll share a famous quote by Jeff Bezos where he said, "A brand is what people say about you when you're not always in the room." So when you're not in rooms or when you're not in areas where people are discussing you, what is that one thing or what are those key pillars that you stand for? Those are some of the things that help you stand out with thought leadership. You could be in the fintech industry, but you have an interest in career coaching. Make sure to fully refine your approach. And just to let it be known, this is always a continual process. You'll always realize that some of these things, they come to you with time, yeah? But the key thing is to start. Yeah. So once you've defined your approach, you proceed to engage and nurture your audience. And then now you measure and optimize to see what you need to change, what is working and what is not working. Now, I mentioned about your thought leadership plan. It is very important, like I said, for you to start with a brand theme. Think about what you're championing for. What do you want to be known for? That is very important. Now, once you curate your overarching brand theme, the next thing is to break that down into your content themes, yeah? So it could be industry news, it could be maybe weekly tips, it could be, what really adds on to or builds onto that brand theme, yeah? So for example, for these 3 slides, you can talk about industry transformation through articles and videos from peers and thought leaders. You can also talk about organizational transformation. You can also talk about, things about the public and private sector, but it doesn't have to always be this serious. Like I said, this is an opportunity for you to share your point of view always with regards to certain topics. Yeah, and this should be topics of interest. Now, with regards to how often you should share your content and how you should share your content, best practice on LinkedIn is usually between 3 to 5 posts a week. And that's because, you know, LinkedIn, the LinkedIn algorithm works a bit differently from the other platforms. Your content, LinkedIn assumes that everyone who has followed you or everyone who has connected with you is, what is it called? Everyone who has connected with you has a level of intent and is interested in the content that you're sharing. So most likely your content will show to the people who have connected with you and are active on LinkedIn, or rather they are regular users of the platform. So most likely it could show to between 90 to 100% of the people who've connected with you for as long as they're online. Then you can also share articles. The next thing is hashtags. Hashtags are very important because number one, they help you get discovered. So if you're talking about fintech, if you're talking about the legal field in Africa, if you're talking about maybe advertising in Kenya, advertising in Uganda, you know, you want to discover hashtags that are being popularly used, because it helps the algorithm show your content to more people. And also you can also curate your own personal hashtags, that anytime someone sees maybe hashtag advertising in Kenya, they know that, okay, this is Wanjera who's posting about, or who's giving us tips or industry news or sharing some information about the advertising industry. And then lastly, make sure to always quote your influencers and sources. Sometimes curating content on LinkedIn may seem like a very hard or challenging thing, but one thing you need to remember is there is so much information at your disposal. You know, it could be mentors that you follow, it could be your industry peers, you know, you could reshare their content, you could reshare articles. We have so many articles and blogs based on different industries. So just make it a point to maybe once every 2 days or every day when you wake up in the morning and you come across a great article that you think you could share, that is also part of your content. And so don't feel shy or don't feel the pressure to always create content from scratch. You know, you can always reshare content, and yeah, that will also be of use to your audience. Next, the different ways to publish content on LinkedIn. As on your personal profile, you can either use short form posts, you can post an article. You know, LinkedIn has the long form article format whereby you can share your weekly, like a weekly roundup, or, you know, an article on a certain topic of interest, and you can also share videos. Now, your short form posts could be in the form of only text. You could add an image, you could add an infographic. Maybe you've done some research and, you know, you're talking about, you want to share some data within your industry or within other industries. This could also be a really good way to share that. Now, once you have created your plan and you have gone ahead to share your content, continually measure and optimize. You need to continually understand who is engaging with you and what content they're engaging with, because this gives you more insights to your brand theme and to your content theme. So you're able to eliminate what is probably not working for you. So you may realize that maybe when you post on certain days, your content has higher engagement than certain days. So maybe for you, Friday works better than Wednesday, you know, so you'll realize that, okay, let me post more content then on Friday. Maybe you'll realize that a lot more people are resonating with content that has imagery and visuals than content that doesn't have visuals. That is enough to give you insights on your thought leadership strategy. So digital is always about testing and seeing what works for you. And as you continually monitor and evaluate, you'll be able to, you know, find your sweet spot on what exactly you want to post about. Remember, thought leadership is about trust, authenticity, and with trust comes influence. Yeah. And with that, let us get connected. I hope if you were not on LinkedIn, if you are not active on LinkedIn, this session has ignited the fire for you to, you know, get back active. If you didn't have a profile, I'm happy to help you just connect with me on LinkedIn, and you can scan this QR code to connect with me. And you can also generate, for those who didn't know, you can also generate your own QR code on your mobile app, on your LinkedIn mobile app. Right next to the search area, there are these 4 squares. So when you click on that, it will immediately generate your QR code. So, you know, look cool as you create your personal brand and become a rock star to stand out on LinkedIn. Manuel, I don't know if there are any questions.
Wow, thank you so much. I believe, you know, we'll be getting questions, but first I'm seeing quite a good, you know, comments right now. I can see from, you know, Linda, she's saying this is very, very informative and helpful. So I really would say the same thing. Thank you. This has really been very informative and very insightful. I didn't know about that QR code thing. But thank you for that. I'm seeing also Halima, she said this is a great, you know, informative session as well. And yes, for all of you guys who've registered through our registration form, we'll be sharing with you these slides and the recording. Yeah, and I encourage you guys, for those who have questions, please send them in. Maybe just one question as, you know, people are preparing to share more the questions. I would want to ask about the QR code. Is it strictly for the mobile? Just curiosity. Is it, can I only access it on the mobile?
Yes, for now you can only access it via mobile.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, great. So guys, if you have any question, you can be sending it in. I'm seeing so many people are thanking you. Thank you for this session. They really needed it. Maybe I just have one question or two as people are sending in the questions as well. I have this question because you've talked about building this profile and making sure your profile is up to date, but I'm just curious in terms of the engagement part. How do I make sure I be more engaging? Because I believe in the algorithm, you engaging, like connecting and being able to, and the engagement, I mean in the side of, like, let's say comments, making sure you comment with different maybe your connections, that really helps your visibility. So I'm just curious, how do I go about that? How do I make sure I be that great at that part of, you know, engaging and commenting?
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Manuel. So engagements, we look at it in 2 ways on LinkedIn. So make sure that, you know, when you post content, there's probably someone who is either going to ask a question or just drop a comment on your post. Make sure to respond to it. Another way to also boost your engagement is from the people that you've connected with. Always make sure to interact with them in their comment section. And that way you increase your visibility before them. And therefore they also know that, okay, even when Manuel posts something, then I'll also go and interact with his content. So it's always great for you to, you know, engage with those who are posting on your posts. And if, for example, like you're very new to, if your profile is very new, once you've connected with like the industry peers, people that are of interest to you, make sure to engage with them in the comment section. You know, make sure to ask questions. If someone posts their point of view, you know, you can choose to challenge it, you can agree to it, just be interactive with them, because that is what increases your visibility before or with some of those people, with some of those individuals.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Maybe I could, we have one question from Ben. Ben is asking, how best can I manage a company profile on LinkedIn?
Oh, great. So Ben, that is a totally different conversation from this. I'm happy to set up what is it called? To set up a meeting with you and just take you through how to set up a company page. It's not a company profile. We don't recommend for you to start a company profile. So LinkedIn has the personal profile, and then there's a company page. So the personal profile is meant for you as the professional, for you as the CEO, for you as the executive. But then the company page is where you need to run your like company industry news and company updates. Now, what happens if you open or if you start a company profile, the day at some point LinkedIn will assume, because a company profile will be accessed by very many people. You know, there could be the CEO, there could be the digital person, there could be the marketing person, there's the HR person. So when LinkedIn picks up that a profile is being accessed by many different people, it will assume that it is a bot page and will automatically delete it. So please make sure that when you're starting your company, when you want to share your company updates, you're running them on the company page and not a company profile. So Ben, I'm happy for you. Please drop your, you can drop me your email on the chat box and I will reach out to you and further have that conversation with you to guide you, because it's a whole different scope.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I believe even one year we could have a session 2 for maybe, I don't know, the next month, maybe when we're tackling strictly in terms of how do we business, yes, because according to the expectations that were shared on our registration form, though there was someone who really wanted to know how do they leverage, you know, LinkedIn for the business side. But yeah, so I think we could always, you know, you could give us a bit of more time next, like could give us some more time in maybe in next month, or you know, and then we have that session for business as well. That would be great.
That's perfectly okay. I'm happy to host that business session.
Wow.
And maybe
thank you.
Even before then, I can reach out to the individuals who are very interested.
That's
yeah,
that would be great as well. Yeah. Then also maybe one other question I'm seeing, someone is asking, Brian is asking, add value to their posts. I think that's a question just put out as a statement, add value to their posts. I didn't get that. I think, is that a question, Brian? I don't know if it's a statement.
That was an addition. That was an addition to what she was speaking about when you engage with someone's company page or someone's post.
All right, thank you so much. Add value. Yes, it's very important. As Brian said, yes, it's very important. It's not about just saying good what, you really need to add that quite insightful kind of value to the post, because you know that's how you gain that visibility and the thought leadership, as you know Wanjira was saying. Yes, we're trying to hijack your question, Wanjira, but anyways, I believe you know all of us here have learned something. You know, we're just 4 minutes past midday. We're supposed to end at exactly midday. If you have any questions, as Wanjira has been saying, you can always share them directly to her. You can you know share you know, she can share her email contacts in the chat as well, so that you can always share. So some of you people may not be able to really get questions right now. Maybe you're still consuming whatever has been shared, but you can always, you know, share your question there. Yes, so Nakachwa Maria is asking, can we have a next session for business? Yes, definitely. We're going to have one, as Wanjira has already given us, you know, that go ahead. So as our guest, so we'll definitely be communicating back to you. I believe we all have you guys your emails, so we'll be sharing with you. So watch out for even our social media pages. We'll be sharing with you the next session for business. Yes, but I believe, as Wanjira was also saying, you building your personal profile, you correct me if I'm wrong, it also impacts on your business, because as you are a CEO and you're pushing out what you do for your business, it indirectly leads to, you know, growth of your business as well. But we'll strictly do the one for the business as well. Yeah, thank you. So she has already shared her email right in the chat, so you can always reach out to her. And yeah, so with that, allow me to stop this session right now. But before we stop it, I would just want to say thank you very much to Wanjira. This has been very, very, very insightful. I've learned a lot. I believe all the rest of the guys who've been part of this have really learned as well. And you know, it was really, really as well engaging, and I hope we can go ahead and, you know, optimize our profiles and make them that strong profiles that we can tap into different opportunities. So I'd like to thank you for the, you know, making the time and giving us all this knowledge. Then I'll also want to thank the guys who've made it to you know, it's a Friday, it's a chill day for some of the people, but they've created the time to show up for this session. Thank you all. And we'll be sharing, by the way, this video, this recording, we'll be sharing also the presentation as well to all the guys who I have their emails. So for those that have not gotten your emails, please, you can share them. And then I'll be sharing with you as well. I'll be sharing with you the presentation. Let me type in my email in the chat section for those that I might not have registered through our registration form. You can share your email for the presentation and on that email. So emmanuel@digicon.academy. That's the email you can share in. And then for those who might want to know about us, Digicon, you can always go to our website, www.digicon.academy. You will see more about what we do. As you know, this webinar is brought to you proudly by Digicon Academy, of course, powered by Blue Flamingo. So every month we'll be having, and we've been having this session. So hopefully next month or the other month we'll be communicating to you. We'll be having the LinkedIn session or webinar for business. Thank you all, and have a great time. Have a great Friday.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.